Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Yao Huang. I have finished look at the task one, provide feedback to your peers, and I do have some suggestions and observations I want to share with you. So in today's video, I will talk about how to provide feedback to your peer. Okay, let me share my screen. So provide feedback to a peer. Actually, the ability to provide a feedback is not just applied to your peer. In the future, you can, giving when you finish this class, there will be other settings you provide feedback, whether to your students or to your coworkers or even to your supervisor's boss. So I think for this exercise, I hope it's not just an exercise for you to complete the assignment in this course, but you can use the same skill to apply that for your future career and future work. So the topic is very brief, is how to provide feedback. When I was a doctoral student sitting in my major professor's research meeting, we were often asked to provide feedback to our peers, to another doctoral student. So what I'm here is to share what I have learned is typically we follow a sandwich style. So the sandwich is very easy to understand: the strengths, weakness, and suggestions or questions. So this is give you a simple formula. Like in the beginning, you will say, point out what things going on well, what do you have noticed, particularly appealing to you. So what are the good things about your coworkers, your peers' work? And then you transition to the areas where they can improve. Well, even I call it very straightforward weakness. It's just to give you label it. So basically, that's the areas you notice that your peers can improve. And then, in addition to point out the areas where they can improve, you do want to provide suggestions, like how they can improve, what are the resources they can go to. So I noticed that in this week's assignment, some of you are really good by providing the extra resources. But I'm also thinking when you provide the links, the resources, I hope you can point out specifically what you think your peers can take away from these resources and links. Okay, so this is one area you can provide feedback. And the next is I tend to notice that some of you are providing like not one, 2 or 3 sentences. I think relatively speaking, it's not enough for this assignment. So I'm providing a framework. Just maybe you have better than mine, but this is one example. So the areas you can look at is the content. Like in this course, we're looking at the learning management system. So look at our evaluation criteria. So do they cover them all? Are there anything they're missing or anything they pointed out you have not noticed? So that's the content. And the next one, the format, is the way, as I mentioned previously, the way they present their information or the logic. They put that in the slide, in their video. What are the typical things you noticed so you can point out? And the visual, some of you are using PowerPoint, others using video. These are all good. So as a professional, right, we will present a good visual. So what are the elements in the visual you notice that it makes you feel like you can grab the content quickly, or maybe other visuals are kind of like loud or distract you, so you can all point it out. And of course, other things I have not noticed here. Okay, so the suggestion is I do recommend you to review the rubric. So let me go back and go to our website. I may have not stressed enough that in the Start Here folder, this is our folder, Start Here, I list all the rubrics used in the course. So let's go to the feedback to peer rubric. And let me make it bigger for you. So if you look at the rubric, I kind of like also follow the format. You look at the content, the presentation or the feedback, format, suggestions, and of course, I need to look at whether you submit the work on time or not. And if you look at the content, particularly I said, I'm hoping you are not provide a laundry list. It's because all of you are graduate students. So of course, I have a high expectation. All of us can provide laundry lists 1, 2, 3, 4. But how can you provide the feedback provide a meaningful feedback to your peers? You may want to document the list and reorganize it a little bit. So here's one thing I want you to remember. This I particularly see in the 3 to 4 sentences. Those sentences tend to become a laundry list. And if you notice that, Dr. Huang may give you a lower score, it probably you fall into this category. So you really want to think about how to improve that next time. And of course, format. This is where I encourage you to look at Vanessa's and James' presentation. Vanessa is using a, let me see if I can share her work a little bit. Okay, so this is Vanessa's assignment feedback. See, she provided her suggestions and also she did a screen capture to make it very visually easy to understand. So this is one way. Another way is James. Let's see. Where is it? Okay, James is, I like his format is like, you notice that he has pros and cons. So this is another way to avoid the laundry list. You kind of like organized what are the things that are good, what are the things that is not so good. It helps you to think. Yes, so the suggestion is go back to review the rubric. Really understand the rubric where you will get points. And also for this time, look at James Haywood or Vanessa Farmer's feedback as a good example. So that I hope that you can incorporate those skills in your tasks 2 and 3 assignment. All right, so that is everything for today. And thank you, everyone.